Opening credits. Ava and Carol Detective Agency, The Haunted Mansion. Written by Thomas Lockhaven, with Emily Chase. Edited by Dave Aretha. Narrated by Amy Johnson. Chapter 2. The worst thing happens. Moonlight fought its way through thick, billowy clouds. Streetlights decorated with giant wreaths hung their heads, bathing the snow-covered streets in a pale white light. The girls' snow boots crunched loudly as they traversed Whitmore Street, the home of the butcher house. A cold December breeze awakened the trees from their slumber, making a clickety-clackety sound that gave Ava the heebie-jeebies. She pulled the collar of her puffy purple ski vest up around her neck and grabbed her Santa hat from her vest pocket.
"Whoa," said Carol. "Whitmore Street doesn't play around when it comes to decorating."
"It's incredible," agreed Ava. "Puts Whoville to shame."
"I can see the Grinch now," laughed Carol. "Forget Whoville. Tonight it's Whitmore."
"Hey, you're stealing my mojo," laughed Ava. "I'm supposed to be the funny one."
"You are the funny one. Funny looking,"
Carol snickered. The residents of Whitmore Street either forgot that there was a dilapidated old spooky house in the middle of their neighborhood, or they went overboard with Christmas cheer, trying to draw attention away from the house. Everywhere Ava and Carol looked, houses were blanketed in rows of multicolored lights. Golden light shone from windows decorated with electric candles. There were manger scenes, giant candy cane fences, inflatable snowmen, and wooden deer made from logs. Sandwiched in between the holiday cheer sat an old abandoned house, surrounded by an old broken-down wooden fence. The girls came to a stop. Somewhere in the distance they could hear a dog barking. Otherwise, the night was silent. "Okay," whispered Ava. "We did it. There it is, the butcher house. Can we go now?" Carol stood staring at the house. Years of neglect had taken its toll. The wooden shutters that remained hung precariously from their hinges. The huge steps leading to the front door were broken and sagging. Jagged glass, like broken teeth, jutted upwards from window frames. But it was the darkness, darker than night, darker than shadow, that seemed to ooze from every window and every door of the butcher house.
"Yeah."
She paused, thinking.
"I bet this used to be a beautiful house."
"Okay, I think the cold has frozen your brain. Let's go. After seeing this neighborhood, I have to reprimand my parents for their lackluster dedication to holiday decoration." Ava trudged away, already planning additions to their house, when Carol whispered excitedly,
"A light! I saw a light!"
"What?"
"I saw a light turn on in the house," whispered Carol. "In the basement."
"You're seeing things. There's no way that house has electricity."
"I know what I saw."
Carol crept closer to the house, crouching behind a small stone column. The girls stared at the house, waiting, but the house remained dark. "Maybe it was just a reflection? I mean, this neighborhood is lit up like a—"
"It was a light. I saw a light in the basement."
"Okay," said Ava, holding out her hands. "I believe you." Ava's phone buzzed. "Great. It's going to be my parents wondering where we are."
"Okay,"
acknowledged Carol disappointedly.
"I guess we better get going."
The light from Ava's phone illuminated her face while she texted her parents. Carol's eyes scoured every inch of the basement one last time, looking for any hint of light. "Okay," smiled Ava, patting her friend on the back. "My mom's making hot cocoa."
"I love your mom's cocoa,"
Carol smiled. The girls walked up the small incline back to Whitmore Street, leaving the butcher house like a creepy dream behind them.
Ding, ding,
Crunch, crunch,
ding, ding.
crunch, crunch. Ava paused. "Did you hear a bell?" Carol stood, breathing quietly, tiny puffs of white smoke escaping her lips. She listened intently. It was the faintest of sounds.
Ding, ding.
Like the ringing of a tiny bell. The sound seemed to come from behind them. Ava couldn't stop herself. It was as if her eyes had a mind of their own. Against her will, she turned and looked at the butcher house. Carol was right. She could now see a tiny sliver of light in the basement window. "Carol, I see it," whispered Ava excitedly. Carol began quickly walking back to the house.
"Come on, we've got to get closer."
"Who do you think it is?" whispered Ava. Her eyes scanned the moonlit blanket of snow that surrounded the butcher house. "There are no footprints." Carol's eyes quickly scanned the front of the house.
"I know,"
she whispered as she crouched by a crooked pole supporting what was left of the fence. Ava hurried over to Carol.
"Shh,"
whispered Carol, holding a finger to her lips. "Sorry, the snow is really crunchy." The light grew brighter for a second, and then only a sliver remained. Something or someone was definitely there. Ava's heart quickened. Inside her head, curiosity battled common sense. "We should crawl to the window," suggested Ava. "That way we won't make as much noise."
"Good idea."
Carol paused. Ava felt a chill along the back of her neck. A shadow had fallen over them. They could see 2 furry arms and a body with no head. The girls turned their heads in unison. Standing over them was a headless creature. It had an elongated, furry torso and thin, sinewy arms that ended in enormous clawed fingers. Where the head was supposed to be, there was only a thick stump of a neck. The girls screamed in terror as the creature swiped at Ava, its claws just missing her face. She fell backwards, hard onto the snow. She backpedaled on the slippery, crusty ice like a crab. The creature lunged at Carol as she dove headfirst into an icy snowbank. The creature reached down, grabbing Carol's candy cane-striped hoodie, lifting her off the ground. Ava grabbed a board from the fence and struck the creature hard on the back. The creature stumbled, dropping Carol, whirling on Ava.
"Run!"
screamed Carol. Ava didn't need to be told twice. The girls ran, slipping and sliding toward the street, the monster right on their heels. Chapter 3. Trapped. Ava and Carol raced down Whitmore Street. Carol motioned to her right, and Ava followed her through a yard decorated like Santa's workshop. Inside the house, a dog began jumping up and down at the front window, barking ferociously. Ava looked over her shoulder. The headless creature was closing in. The girls scrambled through the backyard, into a small cluster of woods. They each stood silently behind trees, trying to calm their breathing. They could hear its footsteps, the slow crunch, crunch in the snow, getting closer. Carol swallowed hard. What was going on? Ava was staring at her wide-eyed, trembling. The woods had gone silent. The girls strained their ears, listening. Nothing.
If you're enjoying Thomas Lockhaven's audiobook content, please like and subscribe. It's the best way to help out the channel.